walking around naked, that is not a good look for a man.
Why not? It's a good look for a woman.
Well, female body is a work of art. The male body is utilitarian. It's for getting around. It's like a Jeep.
Seinfeld is one of the greatest sitcom to ever exist. Its main characters, Jerry, George, Kramer, are timeless. But in a show dominated by crazy guys arguing over nothing, Elaine Benes stood her ground and then some. She was sharp, chaotic, mean, awkward, and weirdly confident, but above all, hilarious. While Jerry, George, and Kramer spiraled into nonsense, Elaine was out there flipping tables, sabotaging relationships, and still managing to be funny while doing it. She's not just the female token of Seinfeld, she's almost like the lead.
Elaine, this is my Aunt Stella.
Let's be honest, sitcoms in the 90s weren't exactly kind to women. They were often moms, love interest, or the voice of reason in a room full of funny men. Elaine, she wasn't any of those things. She wasn't the mom, she wasn't the wife, she wasn't the girl next door. She was just a person deeply flawed, often unhinged, with a great laugh, horrible dancing, and no tolerance for nonsense.
Yada yada sex.
I've yada-yada'd sex.
Really?
Yeah. I met this lawyer, we went out to dinner, I had the lobster bisque, we went back to my place, yada, yada, yada. I never heard from him again.
But you yada yada over the best part.
No, I mentioned the bisque.
When the network told Jerry and Larry David that they needed a female character in the show, they thought, what kind of a woman would actually want to hang out with Jerry and George? And that's how Elaine was born. She could be mean, she could be selfish. She once dumped a guy just because he liked a commercial she hated, and honestly, that felt fair.
Maybe the dingo ate your baby.
What?
The dingo ate your baby.
It's kind of funny when you think about it. Julia Louis-Dreyfus actually grew up incredibly privileged. Her dad was a billionaire and she's even related to Alfred Dreyfus. So playing someone like Elaine who could be snobby and had that air of upper class entitlement was right in her wheelhouse. But what's really impressive is how hard she worked. Despite the privileges, her success feels earned.
You didn't know.
Are you saying
I think I'll have a piece of cake.
with me?
Well,
You faked with me?
yeah.
You faked with me?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You faked it.
I faked it.
That whole thing, the whole production, it was all an act.
Not bad, huh?
Too often in sitcoms, the woman is there to react to the humor. Elaine delivered it. Elaine started out decent in the first couple of seasons, but once the writers realized what a powerhouse Julia really was, they gave her some truly brilliant dialogues. And from then on, she easily became the standout of the group. I still laugh thinking about her chaotic fight with George's dad and the backwards episode where Sue Ellen Mitski gets married in India. Absolute peak Elaine.
Oh, you can stuff your sorries in a sack, mister.
See the way they are? We're still best friends, right? No. And take that stupid thing out of your nose.
That's got to hurt. I don't care where you're from.
Elaine was never the moral compass. She was just as unhinged as the guys, but with better outfits. And Julia, her timing was surgical. Sometimes it wasn't even about what she said, it was the way she said it. A look, an eye roll, a muttering comment under her breath. Here's the thing about Elaine that people rarely talk about. She felt real. Yes, she was over the top, but beneath that, you saw a woman just trying to survive in a world full of weirdos, bad dates, and co-workers who really tested her patience. Elaine wasn't relatable in the Instagram sense that people nowadays are. She was aspirational, but she mirrored the frustration so many women felt, the ridiculous office politics, the clueless access, and the constant social pressure to act appropriate because you're just a girl.
You know, there are no games.
No games? What is the point of dating without games? How do you know if you're winning or losing?
Well, all I know is he doesn't like games and he doesn't play games. You know, he has too much character and integrity.
Uh-huh. And what is his stand on abortion?
I love that Elaine liked to think she was the voice of reason in the group, when really she was just as petty and self-absorbed as the rest of the guys. Casting Julia was one of the show's best decisions. Even though she wasn't in the original pilot, she fit right in like she was always meant to be there. Some people say Elaine didn't get enough A-plots on Seinfeld, but I disagree. When she did, her stories were completely unhinged and completely perfect. Her chaos wasn't like Kramer's. It wasn't silly or slapstick. It was fueled by pettiness and spite.
Everyone loved her. Oh, she had such grace.
Yes.
Grace! Not many people have grace.
Well, you know, grace is a tough one. I like to think I have a little grace, not as much as Jack.
Can't
Hill.
have a little grace. You either have grace or you don't.
Okay, fine. I have no grace.
Honestly, we've all had that moment where we've wanted to walk out of a boring movie or get revenge on someone at work. Whenever Elaine felt like that, she actually did it. Here's the wild part. Elaine wasn't always appreciated when the show aired. Back then, critics often focused on Jerry and George. She was just the girl. But over time, that changed. Now, Elaine is the one that fans quote, the one people dress up as for Halloween, the one who gets called the realist character on Seinfeld. It makes sense. Her character resonates with women who know what it's like to put on a front just because they're expected to. Elaine is that rare example of the ex-girlfriend who becomes one of your best friends. Not all breakups end in disaster, sometimes they lead to something better. She wasn't there to fix anyone. She wasn't trying to be the cool one. She was a mess, but she owned it.
Independent publishing, that's books, right? Miss?
Pardon me?
Books, that's what you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't read much myself. Well, you know, besides the paper. Yeah, a lot of people read to relax. Not me. You know what I do?
You know, I'm having a lot of trouble hearing you back here, so...
I said, you know what I do when I want to relax? The jumble. Hey, do you make a book of jumbles?
I'm gonna have to be honest with you. I'm going deaf.
So many female characters in pop culture are obsessed with finding love, being perfect or being liked. Elaine didn't really care about any of that. She kept it real. She knew what her priorities were and didn't waste time pretending otherwise. And as more people rewatch the show, Elaine stands out more than ever. She didn't play second fiddle, she played a whole drum solo.
You think you can get soup? Please, you're wasting everyone's time.
I don't want soup. I can make my own soup. 5 cups chopped porcini mushrooms, half a cup of olive oil, 3 pounds celery.
This is my recipe for wild mushroom.
Yeah, that's right. I got 'em all. Cold cucumber, corn and crab chowder, mulligatawny.
Mulligatawny.
You're through, soup Nazi.
Elaine Benes wasn't the unsung hero because no one noticed her. She was unsung because people didn't realize what made her so great. She was funny, flawed, pretty, and powerful, without ever needing a big speech or a redemption arc. She didn't learn lessons, she didn't change, she stayed true to herself, even when that self was kind of a jerk. And that's exactly what made her iconic. Elaine didn't just belong in the group, she completed it. And like everyone in the group, she was as crazy as...
There's no toilet paper over here. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I just forgot to check, so if you could spare some.
No, I'm sorry.